Thank you for staying with us on TVC Breakfast. Now, the clampdown on killer gang Badoo continues. The Lagos State Police Command has begun screening of 138 suspected members of the dreaded cult group Badoo in Ikorodu.
Now, the command spokesperson, Olarinde Famous Cole, said that the command seeks to identify those directly involved in the criminal acts. The police and members of the Oodua People's Congress on Saturday raided the hideout of the suspected cult members in Ikorodu.
The Badoo cult group has been pointed to be behind the recent violent killings in Ikorodu as a development which prompted an angry mob to lynch some members of the gang. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government has cautioned residents to desist from carrying out legal justice on any suspected members of the group.
All right, we have in the studio a public affairs commentator, Kayode Salako, to discuss this. Kayode, good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to see you.
Nice to be here too.
All right, let me start with the issue of jungle justice. As far as the law is concerned, it is not acceptable. As far as morals is concerned, it's not acceptable. As far as religion or anything is concerned, by every standard. But when the people are pushed to the wall with issues like the Badoo attack in Ikorodu, and people have an inkling of one person who is involved, can they really stop the people from venting their anger and pouring out their anger on someone like that?
Well, thank you very much. Jungle justice is a matter of necessity.
Necessity?
It becomes a necessity when the people no longer trust their law enforcement system. And I think it is a strong message to the policing system in Nigeria. It is a strong message to the Nigerian police force that the people are still saying they are not responsible enough. I read about the story of the billionaire kidnapper Evans, that he had once been arrested before as an armed robber. That was a very good evidence that he was an armed robber. He was arrested, but released. We know of many cases like that. So, jungle justice becomes inevitable when the people cannot get justice from the people who perpetrate this type of barbaric, acts against them.
Should such an inevitable act, according to you, be condoned? If you check online now, reports already came out that the 3 suspected Badoo members, the people lynched to death and burned a few days ago, were actually innocent, that one of them was a comedian in that community. And because he wasn't able to give enough reasons why he was going where he was going, because
he didn't have the opportunity before.
Yeah, from a show really, and then his car broke down. But then they didn't even listen to him enough. They burnt him and his mechanics. So should it be condoned really, because innocents could be killed in the process and are being killed already?
Jungle justice itself is an act of anti-civilization. It portrays Nigeria in the face of the international community as a country that has not come out of crudity and barbarism. A country that has not come out of, the way things were being done during the Stone Age period. So nobody is saying it is good. I don't like it because many of the people that might have been lynched like that might be innocent. I was reading this morning before I got on set here of one of the 138 suspected Badoo members, cultists, that were paraded by the police. Not to even know anything about Badooism. He didn't know anything about it. He was a civil servant, a primary school teacher in Ikorodu with evidence. And it was when his parents came with the evidences that he didn't know anything about Badooism. That was when the police released him. So when you say you go and raid a place and you arrest about 138 suspects, I am definitely sure that all of them cannot be members of that, you know, cultist group. There is definitely going to be innocent people there. So also the same way it goes for jungle justice. When you just hear, ole, 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 thief, 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 and because the people are already angry, they are already conscious of the fact that, these Badoo cultists have been killing us. We too, when we get hold of any of them, this is what we will do. So they will not even listen. It has happened. Look at the boys that were killed in Port Harcourt. Recently, the Port Harcourt... Alu4. Those guys were not thieves, they were not armed robbers. So they were unfortunate victims of jungle justice. So nobody is saying jungle justice is good. It is barbaric, it is condemned, it is anti-civilization, and it is not portraying Nigeria well in the face of the international community as a civilized society yet.
Okay, let's take it from this angle now. The traditional rulers are people who are institutions that people, in fact, Nigerian Africans really look forward to. They revere them. At the level where government is not as present, traditional rulers are always there. Now, in this case where, taking Ikorodu into cognizance, there are traditional rulers that oversee that. Do you think the traditional rulers are pulling their weight enough when it comes to ensuring, knowing whose son is involved in this and whose daughter is involved in this and whose brother, as the case may be?
Well, as I understand, the Badoo cultist group has not been operating as physically as one who will be able to say, this is the Badoo, that is not the Badoo. They operate with a kind of mystical power. They are supposed to be a member of secret courts. So their modus operandi is not one that has to do with...
It's not conventional.
With, physical means of attacking people like that. That the way the armed robbers, the conventional armed robbers do. So they operate in the night, and even the way they come into the victims' homes are mysterious. You know, it's mysterious. The way they perpetrate their act is mysterious. The way they do it is mysterious. So it is not easy for one to now start blaming the traditional institution in Ikorodu for not being able to, proactively know what the Badoo cultist, is all about. It will always take the effort of both the police and the traditional security, system in Ikorodu to be able to collaboratively work together to be able to unravel the mystery. Well, so I am not blaming anybody, but what I'm still going to blame is the failure of moral values. Is the failure of orientational value. It is the failure of system values. The seed of that Badooism of today was sown into the children of yesterday. Now those children have grown up because it is what the elders, the leaders sowed yesterday is what is manifesting today. Badooism is not just operating.
Are you saying political leaders or you're just saying leaders?
Leadership, whether political, whether economic, leadership is leadership. What was sown into the orientation of the society, the Nigerian society of yesterday, is what is manifesting today. So, the children of today are watching. They are still watching. When you take a man to court and says he has committed an offense, and after 2 years, you come out to say he has no case to answer, the children of today are watching. When you catch an armed robber, and at the end of the day, you release him to go back to the same society.
You are sowing a seed. Okay,
you are sowing a seed.
Let me quickly come in here right now. One of the members of Badoo caught a while back, according to an official of a vigilance group in Ikorodu known as Onyabo, confessed really that a handkerchief dipped in the blood of a victim is sold for 500,000 naira.
Yes.
Now, are you alarmed and worried that prominent people or well-to-do people in the society are the ones, could be the ones, rather, so we don't generalize now, behind this? Because imagine what they are using it for. How many people in the society can afford that amount, and to what purpose?
It is evidence. I mean, it is evident that Ikorodu Badooism is one of the many Badooisms we have in Nigeria. When leadership in a system has that Badooism tendencies, then it can always send the children on an errand to go and deliver messages for that purpose. So, when people disappear, when people are kidnapped, when people disappear for ritualism and all of that, it is not necessarily those children that perpetrate it. I read one incident where a man of God in Ikorodu invited 2 teenagers, called them, and asked them to go and bring the head of a boy, and they went to deliver it for peanuts. So, what I have been advocating for is that new Nigeria, ideal Nigeria, where moral virtues, morality can be a virtue. For as long as leadership continues to run Nigeria anyhow, the children of today will continue to be watching. They are watching and they are learning, and orientationally, they can always grow to become a pain in the neck of the Nigeria of the future snake.
All right, now the State Police Command has issued out a statement calling on those resident in Ikorodu or anyone going to Ikorodu for any reason. If you're walking around, you should have some form of identification, so that in case there's a raid, we can identify who is. Do you think that is a way to go now, identifying just to because a raid is carried out like the latest raid now? Just take out a raid and then before you sieve.
There was a video online of one
yeah,
of those.
exactly. Is that a way to go?
Caution has to be exercised, so that in the process of preventing jungle justice, the barbaric menace incidents of jungle justice, you now deliberately start arresting people who do not know anything about Badooism. Caution must be exercised. So, when you say people must carry ID cards around, does it mean members of that Badoo cultist group don't also have ID cards? They can also go and print ID cards. As I'm talking to you here now, I have almost about 21 ID cards.
Legal?
Yes, legal ID cards. I had one for my church. I had one for my system. I had one for driving license. I had one for ATM. I have different types of.
So it won't be effective.
So if I'm a Badoo, Badoos don't write it on their foreheads. They are the members of the Badoo, cultists. So the only way you can know this person is a member of the Badoo cultist group is maybe when you catch him in the act, or when you go and read them in their
hideout,
fundamental hideout, not fake ones. You don't go and hide, you don't go and arrest someone inside a barber salon when he's cutting his hair. The testimony of the guy I read this morning that was erroneously arrested by the police, he said he was inside the barber salon when the police just came and said everybody should come out, and that the commissioner of police wanted to see them, and before you know it, he met himself at Oshodi detention center. If not because his parents could present the evidence, he would have been mistaken for a member of the Badoo, and eventually, or maybe if he had been caught like that by the community people, like that, he would have been lynched and wasted. So, caution has to be exercised. But above all, if we must think of fighting this Badooism menace, we must first of all think of those tendencies that have given birth, because this Badooism is a product of the decadence of the society. So we have the political Badooism. The Nigerian police should collaborate with OPC and other security agencies to fight it. We have the economic Badooism. We have the religious Badooism. We have the moral decadence in the Badooism. So we have different types of Badooisms.
So he has become a course of study now.
In fact, Kanu's IPOB is a kind of Badooism. So, there are different
all right,
types of Badoosism.
certainly we take that as your opinion.
Yeah, that's the opinion.
Exactly, exactly.
Disturbing the peace of Nigeria right now. But I still want to believe that God has blessed us with a very responsible government. I see my word. It's my opinion. This government is about one of the most responsible government Nigeria has ever had.
Okay. But this is a period now, not to call just anyone.
Is that what?
This is a time that nobody should just be called a Badoo for saying sake, just for security reasons.
Yes.
Now, Badoo members, according to reports we got this morning.
I didn't say Kanu is a Badoo.
We're just verifying.
Kanu's IPO, it's an ideology. It's an ideology. It's a menace. I'm not saying Kanu. It's a menace.
You are saying it's an ideology.
These are some of the things that are giving birth to all these things. By the time IPOB is unable to achieve his aims, and the boys are left to go and struggle on their own, how do they survive if the agenda cannot continue to finance their operations? Then they can decide to go and form another court group and be stopping the people.
Well, they are saying that, let's just leave that aside,
yes,
so we do not go to uncharted territory. Now, Badoo members are said to be operating now in Ogun State as well. There were records of these same acts, victims killed with pestle smashed on their heads and blood taken away in Ogijo, Ogun State, and another area in Ogun State, meaning that it is not in Ikorodu anymore. So it's not the problem of the Lagos State Command anymore. It seems it's gradually spreading, and that is one of the fears in the past. So collaboration, not just Lagos State Command now facing this and fighting this all fronts. Collaboration of commands, not just even in Ogun State, but across the country to nip this in the bud. How important is it, and how should it be treated for this to be very effective? Of course, we understand that they are collaborating already in Lagos with OPC and Onyabo.
Now, you see, I have told you that Badooism is becoming a menace. The Nigerian security system should not allow it to be a tradition. It's a menace that could be nipped in the bud. What is that Badooism about? What is the source? Can that source be eradicated? Because if you eradicate it in Ikorodu, it can move from Ikorodu to Abeokuta. It can even move to my own area. You see, so what must be done in these collaborative efforts to unravel the mystery of what Badooism is all about is, can it be uprooted from the source? Can it be eradicated? Because if you say you want to be treating malaria, providing malaria drugs, and you don't know where the source of malaria is, you might just keep on producing the drug while malaria keeps spreading. All
right, Kayode, let's, before we round up, because time is against us right now, you said earlier on that the operation of Badoo is in mysterious ways that you can't just fathom. It's not conventional. Now, if we put that into cognizance, what is the place of intelligence here?
Well, the place of intelligence is still very, very important. That is one of the areas where the Nigerian security system must go and consolidate. There is nothing wrong if a police officer, if one of the intelligent officers is even a member of the Badoo. There's nothing wrong to be able to unravel it.
There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong. So he can decide to be a member to go and join them. So as to be able to know what the source is. That is the way intelligence,
that's looking for infiltrating the
police can even be a member of an armed robbery gang to be able to unravel it, to be able to know what it's all about, what is the source.
All right, Kayode Salako, thank you for your analysis on the clampdown of Badoo operating in Ikorodu, a public affairs commentator. Thank you for coming to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.